Hey folks, I am the blind dude. This is North Charleston, South Carolina. We survived, and the storm is on the way out of here, and we have moved on. Now we're doing the NFL. Monty Davis, I think, the quarterback of the Bills, quits in the halftime. He must have felt that he had a serious injury. It's his decision. People are criticizing what he decided to do. The Bills lost to the Saints in a close game, 21 to 18. But the big story is that Monte Davis retired, but he has that right to do so. And if he felt he had a serious enough injury, he stepped out. Even though the Bills lost, they did a respectable game with a backup quarterback. The Cowboys probably stepped up in regular season and won their game, and the Jaguars beat the Jacksonville Jaguars. They beat the Patriots handily, and I believe that maybe it was due to the heat, but there's no excuse for Brady and company to lose this game. But it was a home game. 97 degrees, the heat may play a part in it, but no excuses. Jacksonville cleaned their clock. Stephon Gilmore has a great player, and he deserves credit for great defense playing. So, he is a great player and handily defeated the Patriots. What's the real surprise is Green Bay Packers. How can you have a tied ball game at 29 apiece? That just blows my mind. How do you do that? You run out of overtimes, or you got a certain amount of time, or how long can you play and stay at tie? That don't make no sense. But it is 29 to 29, and it just fathoms my mind how you have a tie in pro football. You either have a winner or you have a loser, and 29-29. That don't make no sense. But hats off to Aaron Rodgers. At least they didn't lose regular season. And tonight's game is going to be great with the Bears. Soldier Field. It is going to be a great game. And the 49ers won their game, and I was kind of hoping that guy Colin Kaepernick, maybe he could retire too at halftime and go away. He's not happy here, but it didn't work out. The 49ers won. So hopefully the Bears can play him one day, and maybe they could break his knee and send him away forever and ever, and he'll go away. Just be a bad dream. Let's see. Who else can I pick on? The Bears, I hope, will have a great game. Maybe it'll be tied too. That'd be cool. But I can see how you can have a tied ball game. That just fathers me. I mean, 29-29. It don't compute. I gotta look up that game on YouTube later and find out what happened there, because you don't have a tie. You have a tie in soccer, sissy football, but not pro football. They just I don't know. It's 29-29. That must be a rule or something. I have to ask Bobby later about this, because this don't compute that a 29-29 tie. LSU upsets Auburn this past Saturday, and I bet Auburn's pretty upset about that. So hopefully they'll wake up and don't let this thing about a playoff potential go to their head. Auburn, you got beat. And, I mean, handily beat and come from behind when at that. And a point ahead. There's some pro games that came very close. At least a point victory. And I can't fathom, you know, but people criticizing this guy for retiring at halftime. He had his reasons. Something happened. Maybe it'll make sense Wednesday when they do their broadcast. But I'm glad to see there's no key injuries at least. Um, Army beat their game. They won their game. Navy was really, as this one predicted, Navy creamed Lehigh. Lehigh didn't have a chance. I knew that. Navy was good. They went on. Air Force, I think, lost. Hawaii was a fluke beating Navy in the first game because they're starting to lose again. But why us? Well, I think we fell asleep in Hawaii. I think it might have been the heat. So we must have had to go back and prove something with Lehigh. Let me think. Some of these games are blowaway. Poor Alabama. Alabama 62-7. Whoa. That's scary. Texas A&M. September 29th, South Carolina Bear Gamecocks better really have their game plan in place for Texas. I see this Gamecock club being 7-5, and we'll go to the Outback Bowl or maybe a decent bowl game. But I think we'll have a good season. We should beat Vanderbilt next Saturday at 4:30 kickoff. And I'm hoping the Citadel has a home game. I like to go to their game, and I would like to root for the Citadel and also support their cause and be able to get to their game and get home. But we would love to go to a football game. For this one still says, I like to be a sideline reporter for the Citadel or Carolina Gamecocks. That's my college teams, and I would like to be there and be able to support these schools, for they have great teams, great depth, they have great talent. They do their best to win, and they don't give up, and that's what counts. And I like the smaller schools that came out and played Saturday, because Florence, Kiss My Grits Florence, said nothing would go on as scheduled on the East Coast. But I'm glad to see Clemson won their game handily, and I knew that. Georgia Southern, that ain't no challenge. But Syracuse, what about that? Florida State lose? I mean, Syracuse is alive. Clemson, you better watch out. Don't take this game for granted. Syracuse has a good football team, and they can outweigh you and beat you. There is no doubt about that. Syracuse is good. They creamed Florida State. They cleaned their clock. They are done and finished. Florida State better hurry up and wake up, or they're not going to go anywhere. They have to win every game. But I see 8-4 for Carolina. The games that I am kind of worried about would be Florida, Missouri, Texas A&M, and who else? Clemson. I would say 8-4 for this year. Maybe a little behind last year. for I believe Kentucky 7-5. Yeah, Kentucky is good too. They won their game over the weekend, and I think Carolina may have a disappointing season unless they can open up their two weapons, Debo and Rico, and Brian Ruff, and some of the other talent that they do have. They should come out ahead. Citadel should have a good season. Their schedule's wild, but we should have winnable games. Missouri should be a winnable game, but it's kind of iffy to say. Florida, I think they lost their game. I didn't follow Tennessee, which I should, because Tennessee had a poor seasons, and I think that they should be better this year than last year. So we'll have to wait and see. CSU lost this week. I hope they'll pick up and start winning, and I wish them the best as well. There wasn't much to choose from this weekend. It was not a good weekend, folks. It was a storm approaching. Florence was a highly dangerous storm. North Carolina was devastated and tore up. Part of South Carolina was. We're in recovery system. We're going back to normal. Everybody was possibly safe except for 18 lives that lost. May Jesus have their soul, and they be in the kingdom of heaven and live forever. And I hope they were good people. Let's see. I know there were some other scores, but I might have to get back to you after doing some research, especially after Monday night's kickoff. The Bears is going to be a good game. I still say that. 49ers game, I was kind of disappointed that they didn't get Colin Kaepernick. Maybe they should have injured his knee or something. Maybe he could go in for early retirement at halftime. And we're back to normal. We're at Robert's Barbecue at 5120 Ashley Phosphate Road. We thank everybody that comes in and trades with us, and that we're on Ashley Phosphate Road across from Publix, and it's open today, and we're back to normal now. The schools are back open. It feels good to be back to normal again, being cooped up. We have a dog trying to order his food, so he's a drive-through window. You can also order your food on robertsbarbecue.com. Check the menu and order their food. It is good food. Also, the NFB. I did a painting. I'm an artist. I'm a writer. And I did a painting. I'm going to try to get it framed. I want to try to get some money raised for the National Federation of the Blind. And you can contact my number. It's 800-784-4613. And bid on this painting. And the highest bidder, what we're trying to do is raise money to obtain a building to teach people who lost their sight how to be adjusted to a dark world and feel and learn to use their other senses, and also do a job training program. And hopefully I get y'all's support. Davis Veteran Services, And also Sports Buzz in conjunction has donation buttons. Don't worry about my blindness. I am not blind. I don't let this stop me. It's just a thing. I do a little report about the sports, especially college and pro football, and I will do better once the Commission of the Blind is trying to help me, and they will. And I'll start this week, and I'll get in contact with Margaret Collins or something, some kind of name, but she's supposed to contact me, and I'll get help from the commission so I could get the players' statistics and also their names and all straight. And then when I do that, it will be fine. Please donate to our cause, and we are trying to rehabilitate veterans with dilapidated housing situations. And what it is that if a veteran is sleeping on the floor, we're going to try to get them a bed. And if they're dealing with dilapidated housing conditions, and especially if they don't get help after Florence, we're trying to raise funding to help those veterans and brighten their lives, which is the mission of the Davis Veteran Services, and also brighten their day by fixing that particular house and making their lives brighter. If you want a copy of God's Eyes, a book that I've written about a guide dog that I had named Bailey, who was a great dog, and what it is that I'm trying to get myself going and get rehabilitated without a dog. My poor dog died in 2014 in stomach cancer. I wrote because my wife is facing a situation where cab companies like Tri-County and Yellow Cab are refusing to pick us up because when we have Morgan, they don't want a guide dog in their car, or they don't want a guide dog in the car, and they won't pick us up. They either don't want it in the car or they're scared of the dog, which it don't make a difference because Dolly has a right to work her guide dog. And this situation calls for education. It's what woke God's eyes, and that was to have a good read about what it's like to lose your sight and obtain Bailey, which is part of being safe. And that she is your eyes, that is your guide. And she is trained to guide against curbs and obstacles. When she wears that harness and leash, she guides that blind person around, and it's a form of being independent. Please call Amanda at 866-554-0919, extension 3809, and that is my publisher, Christian Faith Publishing. Go to Barnes & Noble and also go to Amazon.com. It carries my book, God's Eyes. It's a good read. It is published. So I urge you to buy a copy and read it because it educates people about the importance of having a guide dog. So a person feels safer with that companion next to them. I'm going to end this broadcast, and I just urge people to pray that people in the recovery zone of North Carolina and South Carolina get back to normal, especially in Georgetown and Wilmington and areas in North Carolina was prone to be the most dangerous part of our weather. The flooding in these areas might crest above these rivers, like the Black River in North Carolina, and we might be looking at flooding situation. So please pray that everything in the rescue and recovery situation will be fine. And therefore, I just urge people to have patience and be safe. Bueno, cada dias, amigos and señoritas.